Okay, as I mentioned before, this particular video we're going to look at the upper and lower. As I mentioned before, Python is case sensitive with its strings, meaning it looks specifically at what you're comparing it with. If it's a capital M, small att, and your condition is equal to, it will look specifically for that case sensitive value. So in our example here, we have two distinct programs. The first one is showing a lower, and basically I have just assigned a name variable, and that value is going to be an input with the question, what is your name? And it's going to take whatever I enter via keyboard and assign that value to the variable of name. And then it's going to just print out that variable value, but all in lowercase. So let's take a look at that first. Here is my initial statement. What is your name for my input? And notice I'm going to put a capital M, small att, and I'm going to hit enter. So what it has done is it's taken all of the string value of the variable name, then it's going to create it all in a lowercase. Now we have an upper program, and it's basically the same thing, just trying to show you exactly how this works. But in this particular scenario, I have it evaluated as .upper. So within this program, it will take the same value that I enter it, assign it to the variable name, and then it's going to print out that variable name value, but all in uppercase. So let's go ahead and run this one to show. And I'm going to do the same thing with the cap and small, hit enter, and now as you see it has taken that same value and it has printed it out all in uppercase. I'm going to show you something else. Now what we have here is another example with our upper, but in a prior video we had used this specific program to demonstrate the if, else if, or else statements. You can check that out on your own time, but the change that we made here is the .upper within here. So on this particular scenario, it again will take our input value, assign it to the variable name, but what's going to happen now is it will take that and it'll create it all upper. And what we'll see here in our logic, in our if, else statements, if that name all in uppercase is equal to MATT, then print out this statement. And as in the prior videos, the plus sign within our string is an adjoining. So it'll take the string hey, provide the name variable value in the remaining string. So let's look at this real quick. So here we have our initial input question, what is your name, space, and I'm going to again put in MATT, and what's going to happen is it's going to take that MATT value and it's going to cause it to all be upper, and it's going to say, is it equal to MATT? If so, then it will print out the statement which you see here, hey Matt, Bob wants to see you this morning. Now let's run this once more. I won't run through every single one of these, but I'm just trying to show you as an example. Now it says, what is your name? And I'm going to again put in, let's say MATCH. Now what will happen here is it will fall into these conditions of if, else, if, and it will not meet the criteria or the condition of the equal to any one of these, and it will fall in to this particular last deal. Now what I'll do here as well is I will go ahead and add an adjoining deal for my name variable. So this should say, I never heard of you, and then provide us what this name is, this name variable. Let me go ahead and save it. I'm going to run it. And let's do match. And what you see here is I don't have a space between the double quotes, so that's why you see the dot and the match. It actually provided us the specific name variable without it going into uppercase, just as an example. And we can do this the same way with the lowercase. If I would go ahead and create the exact same scenario, but this time as a lowercase, it's going to take our same variable value of name, variable value, and it's going to lower it first, and it's going to compare it to what we put as an input. So we'll do a run module. It's going to come up here, it's going to run this again. It's going to say, what is your name? I'm going to go ahead and put in MATT, and it should take that capital and make them all small with our lower. And this is what we see. We see that it's taken that name variable value, it's made it lower initially, and it's comparing it to all lowercase MATT, and then it provides us, this is a true statement, print out. Now, another thing that you might notice too is that it actually provides the variable with the exact same case that we have actually entered it. Meaning it did not take it and actually change it to lower and then print it out as lower. It only took it and it changed it to either upper or lower with this condition and did a compare. Then it printed out the original value. So there you go. There's an example of upper and lower and how you can utilize that to ensure that whatever they put as a input value, it'll do a true comparison of what you're expecting. So even if they would have, as an example, put in all caps, it's going to make it lowercase, so it'll have a true deal. Or even if they do ATT, it's still going to be the same. What would they use this in, particularly in the real world? In the real world, somebody might fat finger their name, capital M, small, or small, capital A, small. It just makes it a little easier in your logic when your programs, depending on what you're after. But this is an example of upper and lower.